This is a review from the Doctor Who ratings guide about Inferno. This was from Michael Hickerson on the 30th of the 1st, 2003. One of the common criticisms lobbed at the Pertwee years is that most of the stories over 4 episodes are padded in order to make them longer than they need to be, so it's interesting to see that in the first season of the Third Doctor's tenure, we have 3 of the longer stories of his era, 7 episodes each. And of the 3 7-part stories, 2 of them are extremely strong and popular among the fans. The first is Doctor Who and the Solarians, and the other is Inferno. Make no mistake though, Inferno is a story with a lot of padding. It's got 4 episodes of it as a matter of fact. But what sets Inferno apart from other stories that have padding is what it is done with the padding. The subtle brilliance of Inferno is that it sets up a situation which could result in the destruction of the world as we know it. It puts the ball in motion, creating a situation and a series of events in the first 2 episodes that could, quite possibly, spiral out of control. The story then takes a sidestep for 4 episodes and shows us the possible consequences of the actions set in motion in the first 2 parts. The Doctor slips sideways in time and finds a universe that is eerily parallel to our own, and in doing so we get to see the end of the events played out on the screen in the first 2 episodes. We literally get to see the destruction of the world as we know it. Yes, it's a parallel universe, but it's still one that has followed a similar course of events to the one we've just seen. Because of this, the final episode has a sense of urgency and drama to it. We know the Doctor must stop the drilling project in time or else the world will literally go to hell in a handbasket. It's padding, but it's damn good padding, and it certainly enhances the story on a lot of levels rather than feeling like we're running down the umpteenth corridor in the story. One of the reasons that 4 episodes of padding work so well is that we actually come to care about the characters in the alternate universe. There is just enough of the characters we know and love, the Brigadier, Liz Shaw, and even Benton, there to make us feel some bit of sympathy for them when they perish as the story goes along. Also, we get a supporting cast that works well in both universes. I actually like Greg in both universes, and Petra comes across very well also. Professor Stahlman certainly works well, though it's interesting to see that he makes the same mistakes in both universes, thus leading to the destruction of one world and the near destruction of another. The link holding all this together is the Doctor, and Pertwee is at his most masterful as Doctor here. There are some light moments in here, the Doctor attempting to make light of his capture and being locked up, his barbs with Stahlman, etc., but the real show comes as Pertwee shows the Doctor as being confused by what has happened and then slowly becoming more and more self-assured as he reaches a possible solution. I like this Third Doctor, one who seemed more like a character with faults and foibles. It works very well, and it's a great testament to Pertwee that he can carry off having the Doctor be self-assured on the surface, but all the while horrified by what he's seeing. We get confirmation of this 2 stories later in Mind of Evil. All in all, Inferno is just one of those stories where everything comes together and works very well. Certainly it's easy to see why it's fondly remembered as one of the great Pertwee stories, and I think it also shows that you can do good things with long stories. You just have to know a way to use the extra time to enhance the story you're telling, rather than just spending that time wandering around in circles. All that said, I don't think Inferno is the perfect Pertwee story. It does have some flaws. Episodes 6 and 7 drag a bit. Petra is repairing the nuclear power controls and the Doctor's coma being 2 of the bigger glaring things. Also, I just can't buy Benton as a hard-nosed soldier in the alternate universe. John Levine tries hard to sell it, but I always find myself reminded of the scene with Sarah Jane Smith in Robot and how warm Benton was. Levine is good, but he just can't carry off menacing as well as he'd like, or at least not as compared to Nicholas Courtney, who relishes the brigade leader. But these are minor points in what is quite frankly essential Pertwee. Inferno is 7 episodes of pure viewing pleasure, even if it does drag a bit at the end.